Hey guys, how you doing today? Today we're taking a look at the Chase-Tone Secret Preamp, built in the USA. Essentially, it is a copy of the Echoplex Preamp, designated EP2 and EP3, which is a very old Echo box that they used to use in the 50s, 60s, and 70s from what I can gather. And essentially this preamp is a solid-state preamp that guitar players eventually found that they felt colored their tone in a way that they liked. So you'd have a lot of guitar players taking an Echoplex Echo box and then simply using the preamp section of it and bypassing the Echo. So there are several pedals on the market today, including the EP Boost by Exotic, the Echoplex Preamp by Dunlop, the Secret Preamp by Chase-Tone, which is more of a hand-built sort of boutique, accurate representation of an actual preamp. So the difference between this and like an Echoplex made by Dunlop is that a Dunlop is a representation of that sound, and this is the actual Echoplex preamp circuit running at internal 22 volts. So what can I tell you about it? I love it, and I can pretty much never see myself taking this thing off of my pedal board. And I also love the Echoplex made by Dunlop, which I also own. I just think that the Chase-Tone does what the Dunlop tries to do and does it just that extra 20% better, and I really do hear a difference. I think we're going to go through some sounds today so you guys can kind of tell the difference. I have both pedals hooked up. Now, I'm playing really quickly through a Boss Katana 100-watt combo, 1x12 amp. It's a solid-state amp, and I do think that these pedals react more favorably with a tube amp, and I do use a tube amp very, very often when in the studio or gigging, but I love this Boss Katana amp for, working at home, and I do think that these pedals also improve the sound of these amps as well. So I just wanted to play through something that's a little bit more stable and that a lot of people might be able to replicate at home because this is a much more affordable amp. So yeah, the pedal retails for $150 or $160, whatever. It's very affordable for something that's handmade, especially since it's using all the correct components and everything like that. Go ahead and check out their website. Chase-Tone is the name of the pedals. He makes all sorts of different stuff, a guy named Kyle, and he's got probably the best customer service that I've ever experienced. So without further ado, let's just get to the playing. So I'm going to give you my clean sound without any secret preamp. I have the secret preamp at the end of the pedal chain, and I am running through a couple of pedals for reverb and a little bit of limiting at the beginning of the signal chain. So this is my clean tone, and that's why I'm leaving these other two pedals on, is because I want you to hear what it does to your clean tone. Because my clean tone is two pedals that are always on, a little bit of, it's called a 30 millisecond by Keeley. I highly recommend checking it out, and also a GC2 limiting amp. So I'm going to leave them on because, that's what I found was my best clean tone, and now adding this is improving it. So here's my clean tone without the secret preamp. Kick it on. It's a very subtle effect, and I have it set so that there is really no boost happening. The pedal has about 6 decibels of boost, but realistically, I like to keep it right at unity gain. I just want it to kind of give my tone a little bit of shimmer, and that's exactly what it does. I think it tightens up the low end. It brings out something in the mids that I really like. It's not honky, but it's more present, and it also kind of filters out any high end that I really don't like. It may be hard to hear coming through this little cell phone camera, and I apologize. I'll do a better representation of it when I'm in the studio so you can actually hear. But just to give you an idea of what some more sounds like, I'm just going to kind of noodle around, and I'm going to switch the pedal on and off. So I'm going to start out with the pedal off. Here's it on. Here's it off. On. Here's with the pedal off. Pedal on. Now, this is my kind of philosophy when it comes to guitar effects. I like pedals that just simply make my tone better. I don't really want this crazy different sound than what a clean amp sounds like, or my clean guitar going into a clean amp. I want pedals that kind of level the ground in front of me, because you play at a lot of different venues, you play in a lot of different rooms, and you play with a lot of different amps sometimes. So I like pedals that just tighten my tone and kind of make it sound better all the time. I like pedals that I don't need to switch on and off. And you know, aside from overdrive or lead tone pedals, I pretty much like to have a set clean tone and use my controls on my guitar. And I think that this pedal does that very nicely. It's sort of like a pedal that I like to leave on all the time. So I'm just going to give you some more tones. Here's with the pedal off, with the bridge pickup. On. With it off. On. Pedal off. Pedal on. Now, I don't want anyone to think that this is supposed to be like a really intense effect on your guitar. It's very subtle, and I believe it's for the player that really savors the tone of their instrument. And I think that, you know, even the Dunlop Echoplex preamp does a great job of getting the same effect. I just don't think that they're comparable in terms of the quality, and you can definitely hear that. I think the chase tone in comparison is a little bit more tactile and high definition to my ear. I feel like there's more tone coming through, and I feel like it's doing less to my tone while adding all of the benefits of that Echoplex sound. And this is definitely something that I really like to hear with overdriven sound. So I'm going to give you a clean sound, and I'm going to give you a driven sound, and then I'm going to add the secret preamp onto the driven sound. So here's my clean. Here's a little bit of a BB preamp. Now I'm going to add that secret preamp. Without the preamp. With the preamp. Now, as I said, I think that this works better with a tube amp, but this still, to my ear, improves the sound. You might not be getting as much of it as I am through the little cell phone microphone, but I definitely hear a big difference. Now, I'm going to give you a little A-B comparison of an Echoplex preamp versus the chase tone. I've set the Echoplex as close to where I set my chase tone to get as close of a similar sound, but here goes nothing. So here's the clean sound without any of the pedals, without any of the gain as well. Here's with the chase tone. Now here's with the Dunlop. Now here's the chase tone. Echoplex. So you hear they do very similar things, but they do sound different, and I think that the chase tone has a little bit more fidelity in terms of just the tonality of the pedal lets through brighter and more textured sound. I think that the Dunlop does a very similar and great job of getting that Echoplex sound. I just think that the chase tone does it that extra 10 to 20% better that us guitar cork sniffing snobs love to hear. So if I'm going to spend money on a guitar and money on an amp, I want to have the pedal that does the job the best, and I think that this chase tone has found a home on my pedal board, and it's definitely here to stay. So check one out. You know, I do encourage you to go ahead and order one. There is a very reasonable wait time to have one built for you. You can get them at www.chasetone.com, I think. I'm probably wrong there, but go ahead and look it up on Google and you'll find it. Here's a quick little snapshot of my board so you can kind of see what I'm working with here. That's the secret preamp. That's the Echoplex. And they're all great. All of it's great. Have a great day.